Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Mysticall, and today I'm bringing you a heroic Kil'Jaeden guide. I'm going to walk through it, the fight, step by step, so that you can understand the mechanics and hopefully get the kill. It took my guild about, I want to say 40 attempts to kill heroic Kil'Jaeden. And in this video, this is like the third time we're killing him, but I haven't been able to record a really clean kill until tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let's get into it. So before the pull, I just want to note that I'm using a flask and food buff. I'm using the Feast for plus 200 intellect and the Flask of Whispered Pact. The legendaries I'm using for basically Mistweaver and standard for all healers would be Velen's, the Trinket, and Pride as the Neck. Both really strong trinkets for healing and surviving, so that's really good. As far as Mistweaver talents go, I'm using the standard setup. I was using Rushing Jade Wind, but I started not to like it that much towards the end of phase 3. So I switched to Chi-Ji. I found it to be much more useful, even though it does have a longer cooldown. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my guild. They are really good players, very exceptional DPS, and yeah, let's get right into it. So if you have never seen this fight before, I'm going to go through every single mechanic that is in this fight. In the beginning of the fight, I spread out because this is the mechanic of the fight, and that is Armageddon. You're going to see red things come up from the ground. You're going to need one person to soak in it, but there's going to be one that's a little bit bigger than actually a lot bigger than the rest. And you're going to need a DPS with an immunity to soak it. You can see the hunter in the top left there use an immunity to soak the big Armageddon. And that's pretty much it for this first part. You're going to get the the ads are going to spawn on 3 DPS, stack them and kill them as fast as you can. They do AoE damage, and after 3 full casts, they will one-shot you. So just be clear, stack them and kill them as fast as you can. And then you're going to the second mechanic that it's a stupid mechanic that people can die to, but it is a really important mechanic, is Rupturing Singularity. In the middle of the room is going to be, you can see the purple right in the center. Do not stand in the center, but stand along the outside of the circle, and you get knocked back, and then just go right back in. Now, if you're anywhere, it explodes over the whole platform, so make sure you are close to it because you will get knocked off. You could see soak the Armageddons, and then Rupturing Singularity is now going to spawn in a separate corner. As you can see, I'm looking around, and bam, it's in the X corner. Move towards it, and then it'll knock you back so that you don't get knocked off the platform. Focus Dread Flame, you're going to need to stand in a line in front of the DPS, and that's when I use Revival. That's probably the best time to use Revival as a Mistweaver monk, and I highly recommend doing that. Armageddon, just go stand on a Red Flame. Don't get 2 stacks, though. It's important. You will survive, but it's important that you don't take any more than that. So after that, there's going to be another Rupturing Singularity. Run towards it. It's one of the few mechanics that you actually run towards. And then you have Bursting Dread Flame. That's also been going on. I haven't been able to get it, but you just spread out from the raid. And make sure you're not stacked because it does do quite a bit of damage. Phase 2 is going to start. We use Hero, and DPS use their second potion of Prolonged Power. Here's Erupting Souls. You're going to have ads right here in about, I want to say 5 seconds. You're going to want to cleave them down just like phase 1. Just stack them and AoE them down because they do give each other a damage buff and they do a ton of raid-wide damage. This is a good time for Tranquility, Divine Hymn, Spirit Link. It's great. Focus Dread Flame. You can see my mage running out. Just stand in front of it. Soak the damage because it will one-shot them. Am I crazy or it didn't go off? I swear. I used cooldowns, but I didn't see it go off. You can see Wailing Souls is about to happen again, and Armageddon. So we spread out for Armageddon just because you're a monk or Resto Druid. Actually, most healers are pretty mobile, so you get the ones in the corner. You can see in the top left right there, the Pally use Bop. It is a physical damage, so Pallies can Bop. That's very important to note. As a healer, you're going to see Fell Claws. when the stacks get to 5, the tanks are going to swap. You can see Rupturing Singularity here. You're going to want to stand obviously close to it, but if you have Focused Dread Flame, run towards it. You don't want to run away. You don't want to run away from the Rupturing Singularity, because you'll get knocked off and die, unfortunately. So you can see this Fell Claws. Put a little healing on your tank. They should be able to survive, but you know, Iron Bark, Life Cocoon, Enveloping Mist, Sack from Pally, stuff like that really helps. So this is the big part of the fight. You're going to get all of the mechanics. Rupturing Singularity is going to be in the middle, but there was also a Bursting Dread Flame, so you had to run out and then run back in. That's very important to note. You know, just use any mobility that you can to get to the center near the Rupturing Singularity so you don't get knocked off. Here comes another Armageddon. You see I'm spreading out just so, you know, if there's any Armageddons that no one's soaking, I can run and get them. So you see, oh, I got it. There's a Focused Dread Flame. You could see that mage ice blocked and he had Dread Flame, so it really worked out there. And then here's another ad phase. You just group them up, use some healing cooldowns. So you can see we use Spirit Link here. Do not overlap healing cooldowns though. It is very important to know, because you will need them in the beginning of phase 3 and, you know, the rest of the fight. So we have Rupturing Singularity and the Bursting Dread Flame. So you spread out, and then we phased them because we had enough DPS, and then we went straight into phase 3. Phase 3 is a little intimidating, but basically you could see pinging on the map is a hunter. You could use Track Humanoid to find Illidan. You are silenced until you find him. That's what's so hard about it. You need to find him to be able to start healing and do damage. During this phase, the ads are going to be doing raid-wide damage, so you need to kill them as fast as you can. The phase, this short little transition phase, also ends as soon as you kill the ads. Now, you could see we have everyone alive at this point. That is very important, because the faster you kill the ads, the less mana you have to spend on healing, and the more you can get into phase 3. You can see Darkness of 1,000 Souls. Use any defensives that you have. There's going to be a ton of damage going out. You're not going to die, but you'll be close. So this is when you're going to use some healing cooldowns. I use my second potion here, and I use, you know, some strong AoE healing. Now, the first mechanic in phase 3 is obviously going to be the Flame Orb, and you're going to need to run away, and then you're going to have we have a mage, but you can have anyone do it. Just kite it away from the raid. Now you're going to see these pillars spawned along the outside. They will kill you with damage, or they will knock you off. You're going to need to avoid them by simply staying away from the edges of them. I have a picture to show you guys a better way to avoid them. It's pretty easy to avoid. You can see he tore a rift. You're going to need to stay away from it until he starts casting the Darkness of 1,000 Souls, and I'll explain that in a second. You can see the pillars. See, you can see me lining it up. Stay away from those corners. Stay in between them. And just try and line it up. It's pretty easy. As soon as you get a few attempts and then try it, you see I avoid them, and then you start just right back into healing. I have Focused Dread Flame on me. I run away to make sure, give people enough space to line up, and then we soak it. There's Fell Claws, so I'm going to put a pretty strong heal on the tanks, and now he's going to start casting Darkness of 1,000 Souls. You will die this time, so a way to avoid that is run into the rift right before he's about to cast it, and then run back out. Do not stay in the rift. You will die. 100% will die. That's very important. You get stacking damage debuff, and it's very easy to die. Just do not stand in it until he starts casting it. And then that's pretty much the mechanics for about until besides these pillars. You can see line up in between the spikes. You see I'm lined up. Look at, there's 4 of them, or 3 or 4 of them, and you just avoid them right there. I'm right on the edge. Easy. As soon as you get a few attempts in, you'll understand it. You can see that he's using a Bursting Dread Flame. Spread out, do some healing. In the meantime, avoid the rift at all costs, because it does damage. Like I said, there's Spirit Link. We got him down to where what is he at? Like 3%. There's a Flaming Orb. Make sure somebody kites it away, because as soon as it bursts, it does fire damage on the ground. And that's the kill. I know this fight might seem a little overwhelming at first, but it really is just a 4 or 5 mechanics that you just need to soak or avoid or heal through. It is easily just get a few attempts in, and I promise it'll make all the difference. I hope this video helped. I did bonus roll a ring. It was actually an upgrade, like 25 item level upgrade. So that's really awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I will do a guide for every heroic fight. I just wanted to get the last 2 in because I know they are difficult. And that's it. I hope everyone learned something, and I will see you later.